Learn it, know it, live it.
Hey, howdy, hey, people all over the world. Wolfman407 Dash here. I'm doing this vlog the day after I did the last one I did on dark cartoons. Yeah, I'm on a roll with these. um, I'm hoping today I won't need to take this off, but it has been quite hot today, as it has been the last couple of vlogs. So who knows? I may have to, I may not, but hopefully I won't. So today's topic is about the different sort of laws, regulations, and so forth that we have all over the world. Now, whenever there's like a film, video game, TV show, music, book, whatever that's released, um, you often find that a lot of stuff has to be cut out or edited out. And the reason for that is because in parts of the world there's a lot of different laws, regulations, and so forth, as I said, that forbid some different things. Like there's some things that are allowed, but then there's lots of other things that aren't allowed, and that's the reason why the version you get of the thing you get to see, play, or listen to, or read may not be like the only version. There could be like some slight edits in other parts of the world, or some things cut out in parts of the world. And there are a few examples I can give. So the first example is in quite a few Disney and Pixar films. Um, as we all know, as some of you may know from ever watching bonus features from a Disney or Pixar film, um, every version of the film they make is a little different. Like I know here in the UK, Zootopia is known as Zootropolis, and even that has like some different animals in some different scenes. And then films like Strange World, which came out I think last year, yeah, that has a character that is gay, and it's kind of implied that he is gay, but the thing is they don't go full into that because I think Disney are aware that those bits may be cut out in certain parts of the world, and therefore rather than having to heavily edit the film to give the people in the countries that don't really understand LGBTQ plus or acceptance in general, they just rather edit those bits out and leave the film as it is. It is a shame. It has to be this way, but some people just don't accept change better than others. In this country, the UK, we do have same-sex marriage. So usually that's when a girl can marry a girl, a boy can marry a boy, a trans man can marry a trans man, a trans woman can marry a trans woman. Um, all of that is about acceptance, and it's not just a man and woman getting married. It's everybody. Well, maybe except for some things, but everybody. And sometimes these while it's understandable that some countries don't quite understand or are scared of accepting the world as it is today, you do have to remember that there are some scenes from films that have to be cut in other countries that actually do have quite a big impact in the film overall. So one example I can think of is Rocket Man. Now, Rocket Man, as everybody knows, is the biopic of Elton John. And the two actors that appear in it, Taron Egerton and what's his face from Game of Thrones, I can't for the life of me remember his name. Both of those people, as far as I know, are heterosexual or straight in real life, but they are both of them are very dedicated actors and will happily do whatever it takes to make sure they give the best representation of things possible. And they had to film a sex scene where it's basically those two doing it. That unfortunately had to be cut out in parts of the world because they just don't understand or accept LGBTQ stuff. Um, I myself, I am kind of questioning who I'm into. At the moment, my sexuality is pansexual, which is not quite the same as bisexual, but it's kind of similar, but not. And I don't want to offend anybody. We're trying to explain what it is. Just Google it if you want to explain if you want to know what it is. And Yeah, the the thing that the that's what's been going on in films. But let's now move on to stuff that happens in video games. So, um, one thing one video game I can think of that has had to have edits and stuff removed in different countries is the first South Park game, The Stick of Truth. By which I mean the first game that Trey Parker and Matt Stone helped work on rather than license it out to another company and they do the work. Anyway, so that game had to cut out quite a few bits in certain parts of the world, in particular Australia and here in Europe. The things that they had to cut out were some anal probing scenes, and yeah, I think that's it. Just the anal probing scenes. Yeah, I think that's pretty. I don't think I need to explain why they need to remove that, because obviously to meet certain age ratings they have to do that. But that didn't stop Steam from releasing the full uncut version of that game. And what's interesting is that, as controversial as South Park is, even though here in the UK we get the vast majority of the episodes from the show, there are like a few episodes that have been banned. In particular, the 200 and 201 episodes, which obviously celebrate the milestone of episodes that they've reached. And that one's interesting because it's about censoring certain people that usually not allowed to parody for whatever reason that may be. And because Trey Parker and Matt Stone like to poke fun at latest news and so forth, they wanted to make that as the main point of that story. And it's probably comes as no surprise that got banned here. So yeah, it's lots of different rules and regulations all over the world. It's very weird, wacky, and interesting. And even us YouTubers have to go through that as well, because you may have noticed in some of my videos, I've had to mute some sound because some music is blocked in other parts of the world. Russia being a main one. Obviously, I don't want to go into detail about Russia because we all know what's going on there. But I've had to mute some of my songs because the songs get blocked in Russia. And, me being fair, I may as well just mute it rather than dispute it, because the songs are not mine. They're from another band or artist or whatever. So it's best I just do that then, yeah. Because I don't monetize my videos. I'm not at that stage of being able to monetize them, because it's still a small channel and I'm still and at the time of doing this video, I'm still at 71 subscribers. But it is what it is. So that's all well and good. And then you got some things that are allowed here, like I put in my age rating vlog, I talked about pornography a bit, because that's filtered out of public spaces for good reason, because not everyone's into porn. And I'm not sure how it is in the rest of the world, but I know here in the UK we've got adult stores and some places that are filtered out of public use, and you can only find every random place or whatever. So yeah. Not really sure if there's anything else I can really add to this. But it's quite interesting reading up all these different laws and regulations and all the weird edits and so forth that all these major companies have to do to be able to release their game in all parts of the world. And it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy the amount of stuff you hear all over the news about laws, regulations, and stuff that you can or can't have in games. One I found in particular interesting was how the first Mass Effect game ended up being quite controversial because of the sex scenes. And it was quite a bizarre thing, because the whole time there was this, I forget her name, but there was this person that was banging on about how she feels the game was all about pornography, but actually it's not. It's definitely not. She just goes on about that, and then eventually she sees the game, actually sees it, and then realizes, oh, okay, it's not all about porn, I'm backing off. yeah, video games have just always had the worst times when it comes to nudity and sex scenes. Understandable for sure about why people would go on about that, but really, that is that really all you want to complain about? Because films and TV shows get away with that a lot anyway. Obviously, a rule being that there has to be past a certain period of time. Like here in the UK, it's past 9 o'clock that you're allowed to have things like lots of profanity, lots of violence, sex, and nudity, yada yada yada. And I'm going to take this off. Sorry. So what? Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty interesting. It's an interesting world we live in. Very crazy. All sorts of stuff going on and all that. Yeah. Right. I'm going to call it a day here with this vlog. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to know what sort of rules you have in your own countries. If you got any, just because I'm interested. So leave them in the comments below if you want. Subscribe as well, and like the video if you want to give this video a like. As I said earlier, I'm currently, at the time of doing this video, at 71 subscribers. Hopefully I'll get more. It was 72, but one did go away for some reason. But yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll get through it without needing to take my top off, but you know, with us being in summer now, it may not be that as easy as it sounds. I may still have to do it from time to time, because, you know, only so much I can take before I get too hot. So yeah. Right. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So hey folks, one last thing before I call it a day with the video. After I did it, I forgot that there was another great example of a film that had to be banned in some places, and that's Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. It's a film that has a lot of disturbing, questionable scenes, scenes of torture, scenes of rape, scenes of all sorts of stuff. Very controversial film, and that had to be banned from live TV, and I'm pretty sure it's banned in most countries anyway, but yeah, it's banned from live TV, and the only way you can ever watch it is if you buy the DVD or Blu-ray, or go to a theatre that's showing it, usually like a midnight screening or something like that. Yeah, that's just another great example of a film that is banned in places, and for good reason. No offense to Stanley Kubrick, he is amazing what he does, but he is quite a controversial. He was, quite a controversial filmmaker with all this need to perfect things, this need to have art, and this need to just do whatever. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to cool down now. I'll leave you guys to it. Have a great day. And as I said at the end, like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.